My Advent quiz. Do you remember these songs? Maybe you can even sing along with them because love is all there is. Love is all there is. All you need is love. Love. Love makes the world go round. Love makes the world go round. Or we could really go back and try out love and marriage. Love and marriage go together like a horse and carriage. Well, I could keep going. So many delightfully sappy songs written about love and ensuring you that love is all that counts. The funny thing is, they're right. But maybe their love has too many limitations. After all, the answer that Jesus gave the lawyer when asked, "What was the greatest of the commandments?" was, "Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind. And the second is like unto it. Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. On these two commandments hang all the laws and the prophets." Simple. Much easier than remembering 10 commandments in their right order and with their shalt nots. When you use love as the measure against which all decisions are made, life becomes very easy. What decisions would you want made if you were the recipient of those choices? What would you want for you? How could a loving decision, caring gesture, helping hand make your life better? And then do it for someone else. It's such an easy standard. What would I want for myself, my partner, my child, my father, my friend, my neighbor? Charity is another word for love. It makes sense because giving is loving and loving is caring. It all ties together seamlessly. Giving love, giving assurance, giving time. Well, time is the one thing we're increasingly stingy in giving. Volunteering is way down, and ever more since COVID stopped the patterns of regular time given to others. One of the great regrets of my life is not playing Jeopardy with my husband on the nights when none of our children were around to play with him. He loved the show, knew the host, and was brilliant at getting the answers. I hated losing every time we played, and I'd find endless excuses to avoid joining him. Just finishing an affidavit, a sermon, the laundry, midway through Murder, She Wrote. How I regret those lost half hours that would have given him such pleasure. I regret the phone calls I didn't make, the visits to the hospital, the notes not sent, the words not spoken, before it all became moot, the friend or relative no longer of this world. And those are the regrets of not translating love into actions. And who wants regrets to clutter up the memory of family, friends, and colleagues? When we are blessed with talents, wealth, knowledge, time, and so much more, we are expected to use them. Use them to glorify God and benefit others. Too often, we equate charity with material things, clothes and furnishings picked up by the diabetes truck, or jigsaw puzzles, toys, and books by cystic fibrosis, or sending off a check. Giving blood falls into that category, and the envelope you put on the plate on Sunday. All wonderful expressions of love and good for the planet and your conscience. And appropriate, because Jesus told us, "To those whom much is given shall much be required." But to perfect such gifts, we need to love others. Difficult when we don't know or even like them, I admit. But the reality is that we have to learn to leave judgment of others to God. We have to learn to just love each other despite all our warts and shortcomings. And yes, we all know we have our own warts and shortcomings. So let's give the rest of the world space for theirs. This is a season of ever colder and darker days. Springtime seems so far off. So let each of us brighten each day by sowing the seeds of love and acceptance, hope, peace, and joy, and then tend and fertilize them with the generosity of caring and meeting the needs of others. The harvest will be seen as the sun returns to waken us at dawn and the evenings warm into patios and friends. We will be well practiced in sharing our days and caring for others, and we will have made this new year one that is better for our having passed this way. And that is what the teachings of Jesus are all about: loving and giving and caring and sharing. After all we need is love, love. All we need is love. So may it be. Amen. Each of us knows the difference between good and bad. We know what we should do, and we know when we choose not to do so. So it's time to try a bit harder to be the neighbor that we wish we had. And there is no time like the present to begin.